Thank you, Retd. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to call upon High Commissioner of India Wellington Office, His Excellency Retired Admiral Sureesh Mehta, to come up and say a few words, please. Mr. Mehta, thank you.
Thank you. Honourable Minister, Srimati Puneet Kaur, Paul Singh Bains, our President over here, Harshad Patel, Honourable Member of Parliament, Mr. Kamaljeet Bakshi, all my good friends over here, and senior members of the community. But first of all, let me say how happy I am to be with you all, as I always am whenever I get the opportunity. If you ever call me, I come running, which you don't do often enough. But it is nice to see at least some fruition taking place to my #1 project, which was to integrate the community. And I'm very happy to see that NZICA is now taking more initiatives and that all of you are coming into that fold. I hope you'll carry this forward and we will have even larger numbers as we go along. It is not enough to have one representative from each organization present in another body's function. It is all our function, it is all an Indian function, meant for a senior dignitary from India, and therefore I'd be very happy if you all participate willingly and come for these kind of functions, because the strength of the community lies in the fact that we work together. The more vociferous, the more dissipating we are, well, the less will be the pain. We are today 120,000 people over here of Indian origin. That's 2% of the population. And therefore we have a lot to contribute to the well-being of this country. And I'm very happy to see that many of you are doing that in large measure. Of course, there is this issue of dual loyalty. I think I mentioned this once right at the beginning, that I do think you have a difficult problem there. You have a loyalty to the country that you have chosen to be your residence, but I think you have a bigger loyalty to the country that brought you up, that gave you your upbringing, your ethos, your family values, which are very important. And I'd like to see these filtering down to the next generation. I think people have quite forgotten how things are done, in a particular manner for the last 5,000 years. India is a 5,000-year-old civilization. So we can't leave those values behind. Do permeate them downwards. Do get your children to be brought up in those kind of surroundings also. That would help matters quite a lot. Well, as far as the position of India is concerned today, I can keep on talking about it forever. But let me just highlight a very few facts. That the fact that, a mention was made just now by Pitpal about trying to catch up with China. There's no question of catching up with China. We started our process 10, 15 years behind. So therefore there will always be a little bit of gap. But there's a lot of difference between the Chinese system and the Indian system. In the Chinese system, there is no democracy. If a road has to be built, the hukum is given, tomorrow morning I'm going to start work here, you please move your house and go wherever you have to go. I'll give you a piece of land somewhere, you go there. Try doing that in Delhi. Nobody would move the highway between Delhi and Gurgaon. It took such a long time because even that, the Bijli ka khamba would not be allowed to be moved from there. So it takes, but it is a democratic system. It's got its own, the day democracy goes away, it's a big loss. Things may happen faster, as have happened in what we call dictatorships, what we call guided democracies, but then you've seen what happens now, Libya, Egypt, all these places. So therefore, the system is very sound. I can relate it next step. Some question was raised about issues of corruption. Certainly, nobody can say that corruption is acceptable. Nobody can say that it is a way of life in India. Somebody had the audacity to go on TV and say this the other day. It happened in Wellington, one of your senior members. So he had the audacity to say, no, in India, corruption is a way of life. I'm sorry, that is not true. It is just that Yes, some things have happened, some things which should not have happened, but I think you should see the corrective action that has been taken. Has it ever happened that ministers have been, are now behind bars? Even whilst investigation is going on, secretaries to the government of India, very senior bureaucrats, senior CEOs of all those companies. So corrective actions are being taken. Of course, the law is also to be put into place. It will also happen. It is a bad thing. Everybody says that corruption must go. I am sure it will go. But please be with it that it is not as bad as sometimes it is made out to be. The media, particularly the media abroad, I see BBC very often, regularly, at least at 45 minutes or so during my lunch break, TV is on. And if you see the programs on India, they will always be the derogatory ones. Never have they said that the economy of India is doing so well. Never have they said that the amount of money that India has got today, the bank balance is very high. We rank something like now the 10th richest nation in the world. How do you describe the richest nation? It is what we call the balance that is held with the governments. And if we are holding 2.3, sorry? Yeah, the reserves that the government is holding. And we have today something like $3 trillion worth. And therefore that puts us very high. Even America doesn't have that. Why is America going bankrupt today? It is because they don't have that money. It is other people's money that they're living on. In India, it has been our strength. People like you would know there is a certain amount, a fair amount of your income that goes into savings. And that has been a very good habit. Now, the more you take on to New Zealand ethos, you will find that nobody is saving. We are already living on next week's wages today, busting it up, and therefore countries go weak. So we have got the strength. People have saved their money. The banks are solid. We never got affected by the last meltdown, global meltdown. We came out of it within 1 year's time. Well, economy dipped for a while to 6.5% or so. We were about 9% previous years. And the government immediately put in $40 billion worth of money into the economy. And next year we were back to 9%. Today, to bail out Italy and Spain, the cost of which is $40 billion, the whole of Europe is not able to put it together to give them a bailout. So that is the strength of India. I think there is a lot to be proud of, and there is much that we can do together. I have always exhorted you that there are commonalities between what you are doing over here and what is required in India. Agriculture, agro-technology, which is the strength of this country. All your farms are so mechanized. You know that how quickly your harvesting can be done. In India, the biggest problem that we have is the wastage of food. Unfortunately, the lines are so extended. Punjab is producing, but the man in Andhra wants to eat it. It doesn't get to him on time, the wheat, etc. It rots quite often. But we have the technologies over here, and I would be very happy if somebody comes up with some innovative suggestions, which I have got some from other sources, but I would be happy to take that on forward. That's one of the very important things on my plate that I think is a personal project that I'd like to see that done. We were just talking about Ziploc bags, which are required for small things, but somebody came up to me that we have this technology. It is done in Chile. It's a huge Ziploc bag, plastic bag. You can put it anywhere, put all your grain into it, seal it, and there is a small pump which extracts all the air. So inside is dry, vacuum. You can have barish, sun, anything, and it holds. This technology we were using ourselves in conserving our aircraft in moist climates in Goa, etc. The whole aircraft is put into this thing, and you just pull out all the air from inside. It's vacuum packed, and that is the so we have a solution. But I think if people come out with these kind of solutions, we will be quite happy to put them into place. As regards queries on well, OCI, somebody mentioned privileges of OCI. One thing I would say, please look up our website. I have just spent a lot of money, time in doing it up. All the information is available to you. Please get yourself an OCI card without thinking, even if you don't want to read that website. Because it is as close to dual citizenship as can be. India does not recognize dual citizenship. Many other countries give you 2 passports. But here you've got a New Zealand passport, and if you have your OCI card, you get almost all those privileges. Your visa is free, you don't need to take a visa for a lifetime. PIO and OCI, 2 things that are there, 15 years and lifetime. And you have all the privileges, banking, all the privileges of buying property, registering, whatever else a normal citizen of India can get. So you have that. Do exercise that option. We'll be very happy to assist you in doing that. As far as the other services are concerned, again, please follow the things that are written on the website. And you know how the form is to be filled and what is to be done. Everything is now available. Don't call up the High Commission on telephone, please. I beg of you. You know, we all talk so much. I have seen my receptionist, she's got 1 phone here and 1 phone here, and yet I get complaints that nobody answers phone in your embassy. Now there's only that many number of lines coming in, you know, if somebody has occupied it and he keeps on, acha wo form kaise bharna hai, kitna, etc., kitna paisa dalna hai. Money is all written there, how much it costs, what check you should give. So these are all things that we have done for your benefit. We hope that you will make use of it. If there are issues, if there is anything else that we can do, those suggestions are most welcome, and we shall put them all into place. Thank you for your patient hearing. Shukriya. Jai Hind.